Thank her for being the lesson. Thank her for being the mirror. Thank her for reflecting your darkness. It ain't easy. You have a lot of darkness. Thank her for being the lighthouse. The divine feminine on this journey, we lead the way. We have to process, and I'm not saying that again that we're equals. There's no superiority and inferiority, but we have to figure certain things out first, because if we don't, as a creatrix, you will never alchemize them. So we have to conquer ourselves, conquer our shadows. We have to really master trust, surrendering, anchor ourselves in divinity, because we are your lighthouse. We are the spiritual lead of this connection. What else? Staying optimistic about your love life. Stay optimistic. Again, if from the beginning, we started so beautiful, and then there's been a trigger, so I went deep, right, on what it really means, because you need to figure this out. But stay optimistic. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. You have to be a little bit more. You took it too much to heart. You magnified it through that shadow that still exists within you. You made a what's the saying? Like, it's like literally to make a tornado in a spoon of water. That's what you did. It was nothing. And I'm not diminishing it, because we always have to sit with our emotion and realize, especially when it's like that, because if it's nothing and it feels like a tornado, what the hell is going on within me? And I feel again that it will help you to release that final piece of skin that you're shedding. But bigger picture, brother, bigger picture. Let your friends help you. Maybe you have someone that you talk to. Then you talk to about your feminine, about your love, maybe whether that's a healer, or I'm hearing that for some of you it may be your spirit guide, a soul of a past loved one, or an actual friend. Talk to them. There's also a reason it came to my mind, that with the exercise that I've given you, with reaching out to your ancestors. And sometimes we make that tornado in a spoon. But the moment we have to tell someone about it, I'm so upset, I'm so upset, you're not going to believe what she did, and then you say it, and they're looking at you like, oh, is that it? Is that all that you had to say? Dude, do you want to talk about it? Because it's definitely not her. It's a mirror. Everything external is a mirror. Maybe you need a little bit of a breather. Maybe you need to talk to someone. Maybe you need to. And again, I feel it's a practice. It's just showing you through something so small and so insignificant. They wanted to show you your processing mechanism, right? So maybe in the past, something would trigger. She would mirror something to you, you would get triggered, all those wounds, betrayal, worthiness, self-sabotage, avoidance, right, all would kick in, and you would ghost, you would disappear, you would go back into the separation, and it would take you a long time to really self-regulate, to really understand, and by the time you would do it, it would be too late to just nonchalantly return, and it would keep you in a separation. So they're really wanting you to take a look at your mechanism, to develop a more resilient and more soul-based and a love-based mechanism. I'm not saying you're not allowed to feel your emotions. She will always trigger and mirror your emotions until you master them. But you have to develop better mechanism, because once you break no contact, if you really want to walk towards union, right, in that final stage of recalibration, you have to develop better mechanism. So when a trigger comes in, be honest about it. She is you. She will know it anyway. Dude, I just told you. The telepathy. We're psychics. We're spiritual, multi-dimensional beings. We're women. The divine feminine. We're incredibly powerful on this level of a journey. She's connected to you. She's you. You're one consciousness. She knows. She knows. Trust me. Okay? So just be vulnerable. Just like, oh, I didn't like it. I don't really know why, and I don't want this to come between us, but can we maybe talk about this? Or can you give me a little bit like breather? And again, you have to make sure that the breather is not going to be 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years. When we say I need some time and a little breather, first of all, it's something that I often work through with people who are avoidant, not just men, and not just on this journey. When we ask someone for a breather, first of all, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a couple of months breather. We usually mean anywhere from few hours to maximum of a day, maybe 2 days if it's something really, really, really big. And the second important thing, that as we ask for a breather, we ask for a breather from this specific situation and this specific conversation. It's not like I need a breather, I need 2 days to think about this. I'm not going to speak to you those 2 days. I'm going to give you silent treatment. I'm not going to respond to you. If we live together, I'm not going to look at your direction. That is toxic. That is abusive behavior. When we say I need a breather, I need to think about this, it means, okay, we're not going to talk about this situation. I need to process my feelings first. But in the meantime, we can talk about other things. How was your day? What did you eat? Are you feeling okay? Develop a better mechanism. Deception. We have the mask and we have manipulation. Someone is yeah. Pay attention to red flags. It's that Tom Ellis on your shoulder, remember? That's how I imagine my devil. Sort of a my type. Tall, slim, dark hair. Deception. Deception. You are not realizing that your shadows are still trying to manipulate you back to become the puppet master, but they're no longer the puppet master. So chill, control your human, give them love, okay? Let's do a few more. Separation. That's on top of that reconciliation. Time apart. You would be in separation now, but we know this already, and you are connecting to frequency of reconciliation. The question is exactly how you're going to handle this test. If you're going to be able to bounce back within a few days, understand the lesson, and really sharpen your mindfulness, everything that we talked about, they're going to guide you towards reconciliation, because they're going to see that you are now able to take accountability. You are able to develop better mechanism of dealing with triggers. You're able to not run away into your old ways, self-saboteur, avoidance. So they're going to allow it, but the choice is yours. I wanted to say before I pull this card, remember that we're always divinely protected, right? So your feminine, if you are in this energy, she's probably already anchored in her femininity. We'll see how she's going to handle this test, but she, just like you, is divinely protected by your guide. So if you're not going to see the lesson in it, they're going to keep you in this separation. But to be honest, the energy that I'm connecting to, the energy that you're sitting at, and if you really are able to listen through this whole message and not want to throw your phone through the window and like choke me, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. They'll guide you back into a reconciliation, wedding. Stay optimistic about your love life. This situation involves marriage. I feel like more union. I don't think this card has union. Wedding and marriage is truly a spiritual union, a spiritual marriage. Union is spiritual marriage. Be optimistic. And what came to my mind, it may be a detail just for some of you, but they were showing me a dream. So maybe you recently had a dream about you getting married. Maybe because you went into all you sort of got triggered and you went to Petty Town. Maybe in the recent night or nights, they've given you a dream of the two of you getting married. Maybe it's something you dream about. It's very individual for us on this path, how we imagine our life, because we're meant to help this world to achieve different things. We have our unique missions as individuals and as a couple as well, but maybe part of your path is to get married. There's something about it, so stay optimistic. It's on your timeline, but I feel that you would either dream about this, some of you, or maybe generically it's just something that that you want with your feminine. One more. Children. But it's funny because it's on top of that, let your friends help you. I'm not hearing children here. Maybe some of you have children, and maybe your child is your friend and someone that you talk to, like adult. It would be an adult already. Oh my God, if you have a child who is a child and you call them your friend, you're not the greatest parent. But once they grow up, we're allowed to just develop friendships with them. The role sort of changes, but I'm not hearing it, to be honest. I'm hearing it more. You either have a friend from childhood, right? So someone who's been there for you since when you were very young, childhood, or when you were like literally at maybe in your teens, or maybe someone that was your friend. Maybe you're in childhood, maybe you're connecting to their soul. I'm getting confusing. Someone who's no longer in this physical realm, and you're connecting to their soul, and they are guiding you. They're the one helping you to understand the petty town of what you're now processing. Gonna want one more for that. I'm also feeling into childlike joy. You're sitting now in this emotion of, again, devil energy, darkness, childlike joy. You're gonna have so much laughter, passion, adventures together with your feminine. Really? Are we really just spend an hour and a half talking about whatever is it that happened? So insignificant. One more to close, just to clarify. What? Engagement. Your love light is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Yeah, your love light is ascending. You're standing in front of a new chapter. You got a little scared. Cold feet. You would feel this in your gut, that they're guiding you towards reconciliation, that it means higher commitment, that there's going to be engagement and wedding and family and on the cards. And isn't it too good to be true? Is it really possible? So the little self-saboteur made a final last attempt to push you off the course, to push you off your dharma, but we're not going to let him do that. Free yourself, free your mind, and the rest will follow. Free yourself from the deception of the saboteur, of the shadow energy. Free yourself, you're free. You're free. All right, let's connect to what's actually going on. I want to do a couple of these. Maybe we're going to connect to her energy and then do a little guidance. Let's just do a few of these. I kind of don't want to, because it's been a long reading. So let's just do like maybe 4 or 5. Chaser. Chaser, you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing that you literally were about to chase and to pursue, and this was a test for that little, just to make sure that the runner energy is eliminated. You know what I mean? Because you're about to chase, and there's gonna be, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this to you. After separation, when a masculine breaks no contact, it's not going to be happy ever after and I'm going to run into your arms. There's going to be a calibration period. And again, the calibration period lasts as long as you choose, just like separation. Calibration period, it can be a few days for some pairings, but for some it can be up to a full 9-month cycle, right? Because you're going to have to heal together. You're going to have to learn to work together, to become union. When we're closer to union, we become one energetic frequency. It's a new entity. We are uniting, so we have to learn to work as a team in the physical. We've been working as a team in the spirit realm, right? So we really have to make sure that you're gonna be able, because you're gonna be the one that's gonna lead the way, because now it's in the physical. You're feminine. Remember, we've mentioned this. She was leading in the spirit realm. She is the creatrix. She must have created the frequency of union, that you are where you are. And now you're going to have to ground it into existence. So it's going to be you now. The how, the when, the everything. You're going to lead the way now. You're taking the reins. You got to know what you're doing. You got to control your human. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be tests. There's going to be obstacles to prove your masculinity, your divinity. Telepathic. Didn't I say that? In case you need it, she knows exactly what happened. She knows exactly what happened. She could feel you in her energy. She could feel you in her gut. She could feel you in her womb. She could feel you in her heart. She knew you were coming, and suddenly you disappeared energetically. And she's like, oh, this avoidance again. Because you're telepathically connected. You're one. Insecurities. Your insecurities were activated. Am I ready? Am I good enough? Is it too good to be true? How is it even going to look like? The self-saboteur. Spiritual practices. Maybe you are practicing some spiritual practices. Maybe it's a guidance for you to become aware to intuition and guides. Working on inner healing and issues with codependency. You're codependent because you are codependent on external actions, on external events. They still have the power to change your internal state of being. So maybe you are being invited to practice whatever is it that you practice. If it's journaling, if it's meditation, I'm not sensing a new practice. So whatever is it that you will be present on your journey, whether you're someone who meditates or prays, or maybe you do some sort of again, journaling, whatever that is, do more of that. It will help you through it. I want to do one more row. I am healing myself through meditation and spiritual practices. It is the only way I can make myself whole. Beautiful. We have soulmate. We have soulmate. I feel you are my equal. You make me want to be a better person, not just for you, but also for myself. The challenge. You challenged me to grow. That's why we pulled this card. She challenged you to grow without her knowing. She knows it now, what's happening, but without her knowing, she did something that was probably like very, nonchalant, because it was meant to be, to challenge you to grow. And you know what's also coming to my mind, because there's this chaser. When we talk about jealousy and possessiveness, when you are in your wounded energy, and the thought of us being with another man pushes you back to avoidance, to lack of worthiness, to insecurity. But once you anchor yourself in your masculine energy, the even thought of possibility of another man in our energy activates the possessiveness, but the good possessiveness that comes from masculine energy. She's mine, I'm gonna allow this, I'm gonna fight, because you're now entering masculine energy. And the chase, I feel like it may be also it's that it's sort of a it's you have to let go of that final victim mentality. Oh my god, there's someone. No, there's nobody else, because I'm not gonna allow it. We have Libra energy, so maybe you are a Libra. I know I acted as if I couldn't make my mind about a relationship, but it was really because I was scared of hurting you, scared of hurting me, the self-saboteur. And it may be as well, you cannot make up your mind. And again, you started anchoring yourself in this masculine energy. I know what I want, it has to happen, she's mine, I want to break no contact, I want to move towards it. And then the scared little demon appeared on your right, and the self-saboteur pushed you again. You can make up your mind, decide, take a masculine decision. This is what being a man is about. I take a masculine decision of what I want in life, and now no trigger, no emotion, no deception, no opinion of another person, including my own shadows, will change that. Age difference, so maybe that's a detail for the two of you, that there's an age difference. Maybe it's also causing, because it's on top of those insecurities, so maybe it's causing insecurities within you, that she is maybe a little bit more mature. We're women, we always are. We don't have to be 10 years older to be more spiritually and emotionally mature. It's our role, but it's a role. Instead of, allow her to guide you. The feminine is the embodiment of self-love, self-worth. It's the feminine energy that helps you to tap into that energy within you. But it may be a cause of, maybe she's, quite either established or very, I was looking at kind of her, like doing her makeup. So she's like a kind of a classy lady, and you still don't feel, come on. Did I mention we're one? We're one consciousness, one frequency. We're one. Whatever you see in her is always a reflection of you that goes to shadow, that just was activated. But if you look at her, she's so perfect, she's so classy, she's so elegant. It's because you are as well. It's because you are, well, same. We're even twins. The more we walk this path, the more we walk this journey, we're birds of a feather. We even physically a little bit like each other. This in those kind of a divine love, twin flame, twin soul connections, there's no situation that one person is super elegant and the other has like this hippie style. We're one. We're one, right? So because the frequency is one, who we are externally is the byproduct of our internal frequency. Right? So we usually have a very similar style. We have same values. We usually have similar, if not same, passions, aspirations, a similar sense of style, a similar sense of being. Especially when we start being together, we move a certain way. We operate our body, and our bodies are very much in synergy. How we speak, it's so whatever it is that, get this through your head. You're one. Watching. So you would be watching. Even when I'm gone, I'm still connected to you through social media. I miss you. So you will be, but we've established this in the beginning, right? Divine masculine at the bottom of the deck, that you were watching her and this is how you saw something and it triggered you. I want to do 3 more because we're not going to do tarot anymore because we're at the end of this reading. I'm going to pull a couple of this love oracles for you, but I want to do 3 more. Capricorn, so maybe it's a detail. Pessimistic, stubborn, greedy, prideful, dismissive. Examine that, your stubbornness, your 2 more. And there's a runner. and there's a runner. It has to disappear. I think I've mentioned this if you watch me regularly. If not, I know my readings are long, but maybe in the background, because I think I remember yesterday I was talking about this, that a runner and chaser is something that has to completely disappear. I think I've posted this snap of that reading on my Instagram. So if you go to my Instagram, you're not going to have to watch like an hour and a half, but just like few, the masculine energy. There should be no runner and a chaser. You shouldn't be chasing us, because chasing means that someone is running. What you do is pursue. Semantics, but it's a different energy. You pursue. True masculine, when you bring no contact, when you return to our life, you start to pursue, because we're not running away. We're just sitting in stillness. So you pursue with commitment, with dedication, with knowing what you want, with taking a decision that no devil energy and no trigger will sort of assuage you from. You're devoted. You're devoted to us, to your love, balancing, to your journey. You're devoted. One more. Karmic partners. You know what I was sensing more with this? The moment Dark Night of Soul, the moment I saw this card, turbulent, plenty of highs and lows, red flags, codependency, miscommunication. I was looking at them more than karmic partners. Like they're together, they're hugging each other, but they're looking towards different directions, focusing on something else. I think whatever happened in your life now, it was a test that you really need to connect to yourself deeper, to connect to your feminine. Because if you don't master the communication, listening to each other, self-control, everything that I've mentioned about, instead of silent treatment, taking space but still communicating, I see you. I know that whatever triggered me, you will also feel it. Remember, you're one. So whatever you're feeling, she's going to be feeling. Whatever you feel, like a victim mentality, pettiness, oh my God, I feel this way, she feels that too, because you're telepathically connected. She's feeling those emotions too. If she's already in her divinity, she knows that they're yours. She's processing them differently, but she's feeling those feelings too. That shadow is activating within her too. You're in this together. You have to get this through your head. You will never have union as long as there's me and there's her, because she triggered me, and now you're one. She cares about your pain, your triggers, your shadows, just as she cares about her own. You're one. You have to work as one, not like this, but in synergy, one mind. What I'm feeling, my love, I know you're going to be feeling. So let's handle this together. Full disclosure, full vulnerability. Not, I'm not going to talk to you because I need to handle it on my own because it's my problem. Yes, you have to control your human, your avatar is your problem. But you have to work in synergy, okay? I just wanted to couple of these because I was guided. Like maybe literally 2 or 3. Oh, we already have 3. Playfulness, we had that. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun, and remember, love is the greatest healer. So be a little lighthearted. Connect to the playful energy, within the both of you. Embrace. Through each other, you find the missing piece. Through each other, you find the missing piece. It needed to happen. She showed you what you needed to see. Transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. You are going through a transformation. And surrender. At times we must surrender to the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and it will all work out. It happened to show you the old you, your old ways, to make sure that you really let go of those ways, that you've really developed better ways for yourself, ways that will be able to foster that relationship, okay? You know what you need to do. If you need any advice, drop me a message. And yeah, I will see you when I see you.